from highly regarded schools, thriving businesses, award-winning parks, Rocklin's showing that smart planning and strong partnerships with the community lead to lasting success. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention on partnerships how happy I am to see my teammates. This year is another one of those years where we have 3 women leading the 3 largest cities in Placer County. That's kind of cool and pretty unique. And so I so appreciate seeing the support with Krista and Holly here. We truly do work as a team in Placer County. I think it's really important, and it's what makes everything go so well. And Rocklin in particular started a strategic plan a little while back, and these are our pillars, which are so important to us: safe, livable, vibrant, resilient, and most importantly, sustainable. So building on these pillars, we've developed a 25 to 27 plan to serve our community's needs. But we knew that engaging with the public is really the most important part, and you guys know how hard it is. I can always count that I'm going to hear from somebody if things maybe don't go quite as well as they should have. Maybe there was a hiccup, but I don't always hear from people when things are going well. And so we took the brave step to say, we're going to do a community survey, and we're going to send it out and really get some good feedback. So every 2 years now, we're going to participate in a comprehensive survey, and so we can better understand residents' priorities. I'll give you just a few of the highlights. The survey measures the livability of Rocklin. So not just a place where people live, but where they want to live. We're fortunate to be recognized nationally as one of the best places to live, along with our neighboring cities. But it's really important that the residents tell us what they need and what they are experiencing. So I'm pleased to tell you that the results came back that 9 out of 10 residents rated Rocklin as an excellent or good place to live and raise a family. And over 97% identified Rocklin as an ideal place to live. Our residents gave especially high marks to our safety. Thank you to our safety team, to our parks and recreation, the natural environment, and the local economy. But safety definitely remains the highest priority. The challenges and our community's priority, another one to no one's surprise, is utilities. It is an issue that we are going to continue to work with. We partnered with Lincoln a few years ago, trying to look at some options so that we could be independent and make a choice. We will continue to work with our legislators and our neighboring communities to find other alternatives. Survey also highlighted other areas for growth, and it was interesting. Residents talked about community design. They shared their concerns about health and wellness and inclusivity and engagement. They pointed out important conversations about how we manage our growth and most importantly, affordability, and creating a welcoming and inclusive environment for all. So any of you that are interested in all the details, please check the city's website. It's really, really fascinating. I will tell you, probably not the most exciting thing to the world, but it is to me. Rocklin has been awarded the AAA bond rating for our fiscal condition. And I'll tell you, it's the highest possible rating. And it really tells you about our long-term fiscal stability and sound budget practices. And I think we're very, very proud of that. So let's talk a little bit about business. We have a Choose Rocklin initiative, and it shines a spotlight on the business community and helps give information to people that are considering Rocklin for their business. It's a really fun and powerful tool, and it allows current or prospective business owners to look and say, where is there available spaces to rent or build? It accesses key demographics, and it really will help you see what makes Rocklin stand out. Our business community continues to thrive, and we've really worked on doing things in technology, including an online business system, anything that we can do to make it easier for our business owners. Of course, we've had the pleasure of welcoming a bunch of new businesses this year, and I'm really excited. Anybody been to our first Chipotle? I have to work to say that. Off of Sunset, we now have a Chipotle that's a drive-it. So you order on your app. I did it from the parking lot because I didn't know how it worked exactly, but I literally sat in my car, ordered my lunch, and you drive through. It's lightning fast, super easy, and they call it a Chipotle. So we're very excited for them to be here. We were a little concerned. Camping World, during the pandemic, everybody bought an RV. And since the campaign, after that pandemic, everyone's selling an RV. And Camping World was one of our top 25 sales tax generators. And I was really concerned when they left and condensed and went to Roseville. But I am really pleased to share with you that we have the luxury arm of Hyundai vehicles now moving into the former Camping World. So welcome to Genesis of Rocklin. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And there is so much excitement coming for the new nugget market. This was the groundbreaking last year. These guys are fast. They build a lot of the murals, the murals that they're doing with Whitney Ranch. A lot of their artwork they build themselves and bring it out as kind of a prefab. And if you've seen it, it is vertical and it is coming along. And I had the opportunity to tour this week to see how we were coming. And I do have the opening date. And when it's this specific, it tells me this is the opening date. February 4th, Nugget Market will be with us. The best part about this center is there are going to be some really, really exceptional and cool other businesses joining them. And I did get to look at the map yesterday. I tried everything I could to convince them that I could. We even talked about giving hints. But basically they said if I told you, they'd have to kill me. So that was kind of what I got. But it's going to be a beautiful center. There'll be a bike trail to get there. There'll be an outdoor amphitheater. They're going to have entertainment. So really a gathering space. So really excited for you guys to see the new Nugget. And then we have some new local favorites. Johnny's New York Pizza. Has anybody here been able to get into Johnny's New York Pizza? It's a social media sensation. And if you haven't seen the buzz, stop by. You're going to want to see what they're talking about. The Grazing Goose is making a name for themselves. They do beautiful handcrafted charcuterie and Naughty's Italian sandwiches. We just tried for the first time and it's excellent. It's also in the Commons. And of course, you have to give a shout out back to Wally's Cafe. They were just named one of Yelp's top restaurants again. And it's so wonderful to see restaurants like Wally's and Donuts and Cinnamon get that much deserved recognition. The only problem with Donuts and Cinnamon when it happened, I went to go to a meeting and I said, oh, I'll bring donuts. And the line was out the dang door. So I didn't get to bring, and I have no pull, apparently. I didn't. So we're really happy. So another very exciting, I'm pleased to announce today, Toy Row, what we call Toy Row. I've got Audi, I've got Tesla, Lucid, Mercedes-Benz, Land Rover, Porsche. I mean, just a fantastic bunch of dealers there. And it's really bringing a reputation to Rocklin. We're known for, we have a new business coming in, known for their cutting edge on electric trucks and SUVs. And they're definitely leading the way in sustainable transportation. And to be honest, they're just really cool. Welcome, Rivian. Now, if I could just afford one, I checked them out. I'm gonna have to talk to Dan. Steak lovers, my steak lovers are gonna be happy to know Texas Roadhouse is coming soon to the Rocklin Commons. Very popular one. I think what we're seeing is that Rocklin is now becoming known as a great place to eat. So we welcome everyone there. But of course, great places to eat, you got to be partnered with fun things to do. So this year we opened a bike pump track. I did not know what a bike pump track was when some of the youth in our community and our bike coalition came and said, this is something we really want. It is incredibly cool. It has 2 pump tracks. So there's one for smaller, younger riders and for the older riders. No electric, folks, just saying you got to go out there and pump and you use the momentum to cruise. The cool thing, it's at Whitney Park. You can go there and watch a ball game. You can go have the kids play on really nice playground equipment. There's a splash pad and now a place to ride bikes. So literally I was there yesterday for the grandson's baseball game, took the other grandkids to the rest of the park. It's perfect. What we did learn, and I think everybody knows, walking paths are really, really important. It is a high priority. And we just recently installed a pedestrian crosswalk at Blue Oaks. because we found out that everybody's out for these great walks, but they don't want to walk to the corner and use that light. That's just a bridge too far. So we have a new connector, which was really needed there to connect the trails on Blue Oaks and improve pedestrian safety. We're also launching the first time ever a master plan for our parks. Rocklin's 20 square miles. We have 37 parks in 20 square miles. It's pretty cool, and more to come. The goal is that everybody can walk to a park. But we also realized as we built them, it was kind of done one at a time. And so we're going to do a plan to look and say, maybe this is the softball complex, and this is the baseball complex, and this is the soccer, instead of having everything at every park. We're looking at that and doing this comprehensive plan. And of course, did we mention pickleball? Because man, if pickleball is just taking over the world. And I'm really pleased to tell you that we have 16 pickleball courts in the final design phase coming soon to Sunset Whitney Recreation. There are 5 miles of walking paths there already, and also coming will be a beautiful Veterans Memorial at that park. So very excited to see this. To make some of we went out and looked, and same thing, you take the grandkids out and play on some equipment, and we found that some of our parks that are newer didn't have as much shade. And so we spent some time looking at them and prioritized a couple, and we've added shade sails this year over the playground equipment at Corral Alva Park and my favorite park, Gayaldo Park, not named after me, not named after me. That is Dan's parents' park, long before I came. But so we have shade sails over those. And then we're also literally started this week, we're replacing all of the equipment at Quarry Park. We're gonna have all new playground equipment. So excited to see that happen. Probably the most exciting news in the last many, many years is the Clover Valley Preservation Project. Please raise your hand. Has anybody been to Clover Valley? If you haven't, go look. I don't think anybody understands the beauty and how special that is until you take a look. There are 2 ways to look, of course. Where most of the kids go at night that we have to chase them out is Boulder Ridge Park, because if you walk to the end, it's stunning. I heard we had a senior sunset there last month, and quite a few tickets were issued. For some reason my phone was blowing up. I don't know what happened. But we are so excited that we have partnered with educational partners, the Placer County Office of Education, William Jessup, the Placer Land Conservancy, and the City of Lincoln, and others to secure over 400 acres of the most beautiful property you've ever seen. This will give you a little bit of the view. We're going to have open space in the heart of the city and protect our natural heritage and ensure that future generations can enjoy this scenic beauty. Clover Valley is a treasure. It's very unique, and we want to allow passive public access. And the Office of Education is looking at building an outdoor education center for our students, so they'll have a place to go. And I know I saw David here, boy, were the scouts excited about that the other day. We also have a new project coming up that might not be familiar to everyone, but Chappaday, South Placer is having a health center built, the Chappaday Center, and it'll be a state-of-the-art facility for critical medical, dental, and behavioral health services. It is part of the United Auburn Indian Communities project, and I'm excited to see that it's going to enhance local access to care for the community and also support our commitment to a healthier community. We're trying to modernize the way that Rocklin plans and builds for the future. And so we have a new program called Zone Rocklin, and we're trying to rezone. One of the crazy things you find out every once in a while is somebody comes to you and says, why don't you enforce this? And we found out we don't have that to enforce. There's some things that we're never there in our zoning. So we need to update, definitely. And so we're going through this program to make sure that we do a comprehensive effort and make sure that we remain a balanced, vibrant city. June 2nd, we transitioned to fully online permitting. So hopefully it's going to make it easier for businesses and for residents to apply for permits, and also to track the progress to see where your permit is. So from parks and playgrounds to zoning and digital tools, we're trying to make every effort to modernize Rocklin and improve your quality of life. Safety, as we learned from our survey, is a top priority. And that means every part of safety, from road safety to signage and pedestrian infrastructure. Our fire department has continued to educate the public on fire prevention strategies and to educate everyone on the state's fire map. Did I mention they're the state's fire map, not my fire map? These are the state's updated fire hazard severity maps. But we have to get that information out to the neighbors so they know. This is the recent one for Rocklin. But it's really important so you'll be able to see that and know how it will impact you. I'm very excited to share a major step forward in public safety this year. We're building a 4th fire station. And folks, it's going to be right here. Fire Station 22. Why we name them backwards, I don't know, but it's Fire Station 22. And it's going to be located right here on the Sierra College campus. We're partnering with them, and not just a fire station, but it's going to be a training center. So every person, city, jurisdiction that is looking for firefighters, which we all are, they will have the opportunity to come here and train. We'll have the tower, we'll have everything, and you can come here and be a certified firefighter. We've also talked a little bit to the feds about possibly being a backup EOC for the county, because we are right on the border with some rural areas in Loomis and unincorporated county, and they feel like that could be a benefit to the area. Our Rocklin Police Department's on the cutting edge to prevent crime. They're using technology in incredible ways. I'm really proud of the messaging. If you look on social media, they're sharing what's happening. We're being very open. Here's what happened, and here's how we caught them, and here's what we're doing. Probably no surprise to any of you, the overwhelming majority of our crime is committed by people from outside of the area. They come here. We literally, when looked, our crime statistics have dropped the last 2 years, and they are really, really good. But almost half of our crime is vehicle crime, because we don't lock our doors. We don't lock our cars. I said, we could drop our crime 50% if we could start locking our car doors. Guilty as heck. The keys to my car are in the garage. It's what we do. So we're really excited with some of the things they do. And I have to tell you, one of my favorites last year, a person had their earbuds stolen, and Rocklin PD looked, and they were on. And they said, oh, they're on. We can track them. They're in Sacramento. And so they went to Sacramento to get the earbuds. Doesn't everybody go do that? But you have to check in with local police when you get there. And so they checked in, and they took some shots that you guys are here for a pair of earbuds. Yes, we are. And thank you for Rocklin PD for breaking up a stolen property ring in Sacramento. That's what happens. Okay, parents, if you bought your kid an e-bike, make sure it's really an e-bike and not an electric motorcycle. It's probably the biggest issue we're facing right now, and we're not the only ones. If you're going to do this, check and see what's legal and what requires a license. If you're under 16, you don't get to ride that electric motorcycle. So please check. We're going to work with the schools and see what we can do to help control that. I will tell you, at a concert at the beginning of the year at our Quarry Park, the bass player went by with his face makeup and his black leathers and very intimidating. And he walked past me and said, "What are we doing about e-bikes?" It wasn't what I expected, but it is something we're definitely working on. And speaking of that, anybody been to a concert at Quarry Park? My wings are available. I'm not sure who got that snapshot. It's my favorite venue, and I'm a rabid music fan. It's beautiful, and honestly, the entertainers and the public are just loving it. So I don't know if you've ever gone to the airport and paid any attention. My friend, Sacramento County Supervisor Rich Desmond, will come on. You'll hear him in the background saying, "Yeah, Rich Desmond, welcome to the airport." I don't have an airport, but he doesn't have wings, and he doesn't have Quarry Park. It's way too much fun, and anything I can wear to make Dan squirm, I do it. So come on by. We have a concert on Sunday with Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, so you could come sing Mr. Bojangles with us. We have, who's coming up? Oliver Anthony, the Gin Blossoms, Toad the Wet Sprocket for my 80s guys, country royalty like Marty Stewart, and of course the ever popular Yachtly crew will be there lighting up the stage. So hopefully you can join us. And why we do this, honestly, because people come and I try to stand there at the end and thank people for coming and kind of get some feedback. And they stay in our hotels. They fill their car up with gas and they go to dinner. This really is a boon for our businesses. And that's why we do this, to emphasize the message of choose Rocklin. We have Parks and Recreation is doing their evenings in the park running through October. And we're having our very first ever dive-in movie. Okay, they're going to do Finding Nemo. The city partnered with Rocklin High and Whitney High to build their swimming pools, and we maintain them alongside them as partners. We decided to do a movie a night at the pool, and so of course they thought it was great to do Nemo. Now it's the 50th anniversary of Jaws. Come on. I'm serious, we're going to do this. Can you not think in the dark in an inner tube watching Jaws? What? I think it would be fabulous. I think we got to do a 16 and older movie night. We'll tell them it's the rating or something. So, I'm going to make it happen. I know this is a ton of information, and I thank you so much for being patient as we go through this. Of course, I have a request. I need your help. We're at Sierra College. 49er fans, are you here? So true 49er fans have been frustrated that we have come so close to that Super Bowl win and just didn't make it happen. But I know what the missing piece is. It's Rocklin. Rocklin was the summer home for the San Francisco 49ers for every single Super Bowl they won. Dan reminded me when you went by that water retention that they did a catfish derby there. They brought in fish and the Niners were fishing in that tank. We'd go to get your haircut and there'd be, Dwight Clark sitting next to you. And there was a driving range on Granite Drive. And one night it was my son and I and Jerry Rice. And he was terrible then. Obviously he was just starting. So I'm serious, I need your help. If we want to win a Super Bowl, we got to bring them back to Rocklin for an exhibition day. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. So I know somebody out here has connections. We need to be able to go sit down with the leadership of the Niners and say, bring them back for a day. It's the piece you're missing. We made them tougher, and we'll get a social media campaign going. So please reach out, because I swear we're going to do this. So in conclusion, sorry, there's a lot to take in. Front Street, we'll have a little picture. So we've got Front Street that's added to our history. We've got Quarry Park, Quarry Adventure Park, and really we want to get downtown going again. We really did have a downtown, burned down a little bit, had a little trouble getting it back. Then the dang railroad moved to Roseville and some people moved their houses with it. So it's been a little bit challenging, but we've invested a lot downtown in getting the resources there. Things like sewer. It used to be septic for a long time still there. But we need to add something special. And I am so excited today to share some really exciting news and to welcome a very special guest to tell you about a project that's going to be a game changer for downtown. So if you would, I'm not going to tell you what it is till he's here. So help me give a warm welcome to Taylor Judkins, who is going to share with you the vision for the Big Gun Public Market and what's ahead for downtown. Welcome, Taylor. So it's all on you now. Tell everybody everything. Tell us a little bit about you and a little bit about where you're from and your company and what the heck is a public market.
Sure, yeah. So my name's Taylor Judkins. I built, own, and operate the San Luis Obispo Public Market. So thank you. I'm not a Rocklin native, sadly, but I
You'll
live
get
in.
better. You'll get better.
Yeah, I'll get, yeah. So I have this public market in San Luis Obispo. It was designed and inspired by several of the kind of Northern California markets. So there's Oxbow Public Market in Napa, the Ferry Building in San Francisco, and those have kind of spurred a big movement in California of these public markets slash food halls. And so we, so we developed and built the one in San Luis Obispo. We operate it and we love it. We think it's a fantastic business. So we've been looking for other opportunities to do it. And then the Big Gun site became available, and we thought it would be a great opportunity to bring that concept up here to Rocklin.
I think it's a great idea, personally. How did you find Rocklin? What inspired you to say, hey, how did you find the Big Gun site in Rocklin and particularly right down here in our downtown?
Yeah, so I do actually luckily have a little bit of history in Rocklin. So my family lives in Granite Bay. So I'm the black sheep of the family that doesn't live up here. And so my brother and my father do single family development up here. They actually developed a townhome project in the Quarry District here in Rocklin already. They develop all throughout Placer County, all in Folsom, Granite Bay. And so we kind of I do commercial and multifamily development. And so we are always kind of looking up for projects up here to be closer to my family so that I can bring my kids to see their grandparents. And so it's kind of a perfect personal synergy for me.
That's awesome. I love that. Your family dang happy. So tell me a little bit. I've been to Oxbow. I've not been to San Luis Obispo. But if somebody that hasn't, tell them a little bit about what you expect to see. What kind of experiences will you have at a public market?
Yeah, so we've kind of learned and we've kind of seen that the trend is people nowadays, they want their outings to either be, especially on a dining level, to either be experiential or fast casual. That's kind of what it's moved to. Traditional dining has kind of gone, it's changed. And so these public markets are the perfect blend of everything. So the idea is that you have traditional sit-down restaurants, but then you also have these craft manufacturing facilities that are breweries and distilleries. And then you have this food hall, which is, we joke that it's a bougie food court. And so, you get these kind of smaller tenants that are able to do fast casual, but it's also a lower barrier of entry for someone to start their own business. If you're a mom and pop that wants to start. So we've got businesses that operate out of 400 square feet that do $120,000 a month. Where else can you do that other than this that shares a common restroom, it shares common dining areas. But then you open it up to this broader thing we have a playground, we have bars and restaurants. We hope to bring a gym here. We hope to bring retail facing office professional. You kind of create this micro community that feeds off itself. And it's perfect for an area like downtown because, we are not traditional retail. We don't need the freeway. We want to bring people to our site. And it's also kind of funny, in real estate, you're always trying to find your target market, but the public market is the exact opposite. We pride ourselves in literally having something for everyone. We have the young family, we have the retiree, we have something for everybody. We want you to be able to come here. We want you to be able to come here with 10 friends and each one of you get something different.
Nice. So tell me, how can you partner then with what's there, with Quarry Park, with the amphitheater, and with the adventure park?
Yeah, so we think it's a great synergistic opportunity. Number one, there are shared parking opportunities, which allows this project to be built in a way that makes sense. And then, we're a firm believer in the rising tides model. And so we think that we will feed off the adventure park. The adventure park will feed off of us. We want to be able to have families go have an outing and then come to our facility and have dining opportunities or hangout opportunities. Then same thing with the amphitheater. We think there's opportunities to partner with the amphitheater on these concerts, both before, after, and during. And then as part of, in selecting the site, these public markets, you kind of want a little bit of a cool factor, right? And
I
having,
want a lot of cool.
yeah, yeah. And so having the quarry park behind us is awesome. So we've actually designed this project. You can kind of see the two buildings up here. Some of our main full service dining faces out the back of the project, which then will have overlooks over these quarry. You'll be able to overlook the rope course. You'll be able to overlook the amphitheater. So you'll actually be able to sit at this brewery restaurant and see the amphitheater concerts.
I love that. That is, so I can throw the kids out and sit up there.
Exactly.
And have refreshments. Very lovely. Yeah, I'm so excited, but tell me, I know what I'm thinking, and when I've been to Oxbow in particular, so there was like those small chocolatier,
Yep.
there was a person that made handcrafted cocktails in jars to go, there, lovely steak restaurants, so it's kind of that same feature where you have a lot of then small businesses that will.
Yeah, so that's the hope, is that, we're very proud of the San Luis Obispo Public Market, that we only have one chain. Everything else is either 1 or 2 units. It's either their first unit or their second unit. And so it's an opportunity for local businesses to come and be a part of something special. And then we've got a mix of traditional retail. So we do have one building that we're trying to have, traditional retail. We're hoping for like a smaller gym, the examples, Orange Theory Fitness, stuff like that. Then there's the market hall, which is building on the left, which is what you're talking about, which is kind of the smaller chocolatiers. That's kind of where we would have the distillery. It's fast casual restaurants like Nashville Hot Chicken, Korean dim sum, Thai restaurants, stuff like that. Then back in the corner is designed to be a feature brewery that has a production facility and a full tasting room. And then the back building is designed to be kind of your traditional restaurant. It's a traditional mixed use restaurant with restaurant on the ground floor and then 20 apartments.
Very
above.
cool. Very cool.
Yep.
Well, by the way, is it going to be open past 9 o'clock? I need a place to go at night.
I hope it's past 9 o'clock.
Okay,
we're going to have several opportunities for booze here. And so, there's that. We're going to have, one of the cool things about the public market is that we have regular recurring events. So we put on weekly events such as trivia, karaoke, all that kind of stuff. We put on courtyard events. So we put on courtyard events such as makers markets, where we invite local makers such as, candle makers, hat makers, jewelry makers to do these markets in the courtyard. And then we partner with locals to do their events. So we have the upstairs of the public market will have a private event center that's available for rent. We'll put on our own indoor events, but it's also available for private events. And same thing with our courtyard. We like to partner with local businesses to put on courtyard events. So a perfect example is San Luis Obispo. We partnered with the local roller derby, and they do a roller skating education event for the youth.
very, very cool. I'm out on roller derby.
I'm out on roller derby too.
my
Yeah.
thing. Well, we are beyond excited. I know we mentioned this when we first got into contract, but it's granite, right? You're building on granite. Just want to make sure you're aware.
We do know it's on granite. Yeah. So you can see we got a lot of beautiful retaining walls here on site. We've done a lot of work. The project's been a little bit slow for that reason, but we've designed the site in a way where we think we can avoid it. So, which will also give the site some cool height. And, the site will build back up towards the quarry, which will then actually give you a huge overlook. I'll argue with anybody that I think our apartments are probably going to have the best views in the city.
I absolutely. I love it. I love having that excitement and just generating the enthusiasm downtown. So anything else that you want to share?
I don't think so. Just that we're excited, and we're going to be looking for local businesses to fill this. We're going to bring a couple with us, so we can't say who they are yet. Very similar to your Whitney Ranch project, but we are going to bring a couple tenants with us up here. But then, hopefully later this year we'll have it for lease and start filling it up.
That's fantastic. We're so excited. Thank you so much
for
being here, for your vision.
Yeah, appreciate it.